It's mushroom time, let's go outside, see what we find. It's mushroom time, it's time for mushroom journeys.
Hi friends, it's a beautiful day here in southern Indiana. We're in the middle of September and I've got a pretty entertaining time lapse of all the activity happening around this chipmunky stump right here and a couple mushrooms to show you. So let's start off with the first one, these rooting mushrooms. These are Beech Rooter mushrooms. You'll see all these beech trees surrounding this area. These mushrooms are found in the eastern United States, late spring to fall, with their peak frequency being right about now in early fall, late summer. There's another mushroom that looks very similar to this mushroom, the Rooting Shank. The Rooting Shank is associated with all kinds of different hardwood trees. It's found all over the world, found at the same times of the year. Two very similar mushrooms. Sometimes it's hard to tell apart these rooting mushrooms without a microscope, but the root of the Rooting Shank will be even longer than the very long root of the Beech Rooter, which is extremely impressive. Let's dig these up and see if I can show you how deeply rooted they are. You can see how long those roots are. This one is even broke off, but it probably was just as long as the stem above ground, a good 8 inches. I'll make you wait for the time lapse to see who is ravaging these mushrooms exactly. These have a beigeish, tannish, wrinkly cap. It will be kind of darker and bell-shaped when it's immature, and as it matures it will open up and lighten. The gills are attached with little teeth just barely running down the stem. They're cream colored and the spore print will be white. The stem is very long and skinny and it's a little fuzzy or hairy as well. It will get progressively darker toward the base, and as the stem stretches out as it grows, it'll form a kind of snakeskin or chevron pattern. And as we saw, the stem is deeply rooted. That's a good one, pretty common mushroom. If you see a mushroom with a very, very long skinny stem, it might likely be a rooting mushroom or Oud Manziella. Before we get to our time lapse of the stump, let's look at one more little mushroom that's over here. Just a few feet away from our stump. We got these little purple mushrooms. Kind of shaggy stemmed, getting darker as they go toward the bottom, and the stems are bulging and a little bigger than the cap. Kind of a funny looking mushroom with a small cap and big stem. And here's a couple more over here. Oh, this got trampled a little bit. But yeah, look at that. So this is a deceiver type mushroom, Lookalikes purpurea. And you can see it has dark purple gills. Will have a white spore print, which will differentiate it from dangerous lookalikes like Cortinarius type mushrooms, which will have a brown spore print. We just looked at one last week, Cortinarius iodes, which could be a dangerous lookalike for this one. It is a technically edible mushroom. The stem is supposed to be too tough and fibery to eat, but the cap might be okay to eat. Just a very small mushroom, so not one I'm ever going to collect or probably ever try to eat, but it's a very cool one. You can find it this time of year. This is kind of their peak time. Same with the rooting mushrooms, right in the late summer, early fall. Oh, and I see another rooting mushroom all by itself, just to show that they can look like they're coming out of the soil, but in fact they are deeply rooted and feeding off decomposing wood way under the ground. There's no real point in trying to eat either of these mushrooms. They're so insubstantial, especially when there are so many other delicious wild edible mushrooms out there right now that you can find. Time for the time lapse. We'll finally find out who decimated all these mushrooms.
Bye.